Hello guys, and today we got here another very awesome deck profile. We have here the satellarknight decks. Yes, satellarknight, just one deck, not decks. And they did win Worlds. And I want to talk about that real quick here about satellarknights. First, I want to talk about Worlds in general. I don't feel that Worlds should really be taken in consideration for either the OCG or the TCG. It doesn't matter which one you're playing, because a lot of cards were not legal that are really big. Like, for example, you could not play Burning Abyss nor Shadow's at Worlds. Shadow's Construct was banned because Construct is banned in the OCG and is combined ban list, so the least amount of copies of any card is how the ban list works. Same goes for, so Construct was banned, you couldn't play Burning Abyss. Not that I didn't think they would do so well, it's just that it's a deck that does exist. And they did win North American World Championship qualifiers, first and second place. And then besides that, for the OCG, you had no Infinity, which is very important, which they probably enjoy not having to play with Infinity. Besides that, Stratos was unlegal there. I have no clue where I was at. But they also had Bubble Man at 2. And because of that, because we had Stratos banned, they could only play 2 Bubble Man. But then again, Master Heroes did get to top 8, I believe. So props to that. Maybe I might look at that deck and see what we can do. But yeah, this is satellarknights with PERFORMAGE monsters. We're running some PERFORMAGE monsters. And pretty much the way this deck works is you want to make this guy here. And he probably wouldn't be bad to run at 2. Maybe take out Excalibur and run him at 2. And he's just awesome. You get him in hand, you can ditch him, he'll summon himself out. So you pretty much, first turn you want to make this guy. You want to make this guy at least once every game. So we'll go right in. We're running, for the satellarknights, we're not running all that many. We're running 2 Unkyolai, 3 Altair, 3 Deneb, and 3 Vega. That's pretty much it. Pretty much you're just trying to do Altair, summon Deneb. That's pretty much it. Altair, summon Deneb every now and then, with possible a Vega, Altair, Deneb, or Unkyolai. Normally you want to go for Deneb until you have no more of these guys in your deck, and then you go for I can't say it. The person that's supposed to be Squamata, Shadol Squamata, I believe. So the person that's supposed to be Shadol Squamata, you go for her after you're out of your Denebs, and then you just send all your Denebs to the grave. That just tends to be how it works. So 3 of them, their effects: Vega will summon from hand, he will summon from grave, she will send one from the deck, and Deneb will search from the deck any of your Tellarknight monsters except for Deneb. For PERFORMAGE monsters, we're running 3 Trick Clown. Yeah, normally this is reversed. Normally I run 3 Hat Tricker and only 2 Trick Clown, but I decided to put this up because you want to open up with it, because normally you can make this guy and then trigger him off. You want to he can be dead in hand. He is dead in hand because you always have better normal summons. You always have Deneb or Altair or Unkyolai or whatever face the Squamata person. But if you can get him into the grave one way or another, he is just really good. It wouldn't be too bad of an idea to run Phoenix Wing, Wind Blast, take out the Torrential and Vandy's. That probably wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do. 2 Damage Juggler, it can save us when we need to, especially with the fact we're running Chicken Race. We can be very low on life, so Damage Juggler can just be there. And then Hat Tricker to speed things up, only 2. Normally the game doesn't last too long, but you need more. And normally if you need more, you just use Trick Clown a lot. And we do have Foolish who can help us out with that Trick Clown. So then, yeah, so for the PERFORMAGE, 3, 2, and 2. For the spells, a lot of spells. One Rejeki, just there. 3 Rotas, of course, 3 Upstarts, 3 Chicken Game, a lot of consistency in this deck. And then the 1 Foolish to get us either a Hat Tricker or a Trick Clown, or it can get us our Grave for an Altair play or whatever. And then for our traps, 1 Vandy's, 1 Torrential, just so that way we have some sort of stun. Our Stellarknight monsters, our Tellarknight XZ monsters, will get an effect if used, or if you Torrential, they're going to affect a special summon, so that is definitely something. And then Vandy's Emptiness is just Vandy's Emptiness to shut down our opponent's play. And then of course we also have 3 Alpha. Alpha is just great, just being able to have it. There's a lot of drop out in this deck, a lot of searching, so you can easily get to this. And then of course we're running 6 Call the Haunted. You just kind of have to. It's how the deck works. you definitely want to see as many of these as possible. So that way, especially against Shaddolls are awful because you have really no out to window. Compulse wouldn't be bad. Definitely wouldn't be bad against the Shaddol matchup because you pretty much have no out. And that shall be it for the main deck. Do want to point out in extra deck and main deck there is no real out to towers, and towers is probably the reason why Cleaford are going to be tier 2 always, because you just make them, and yeah, you can make towers your opponent can't play. So I definitely recommend having Honest or some out to towers. This guy is not an out to towers. Diamond Crab is an out to towers, which you can easily make, although you both monsters will die at battle. So let's go into the extra deck. I almost said damage deck, but extra deck. Satellarknight, Constellar, Diamond. Yes, we run one of them for the Shaddol matchup, but if you can't make them right away, this guy is definitely very good. Pleiades, you can make Pleiades with Battalions. He's not bad. I mean, he's good. He's great. Deltros, 2 Deltros probably wouldn't be too awful at 3. 2 Deltros and 2 Trevor. You're more than likely going to want to, in this build, make more Deltros than Trevor. Because with Trevor, his first effect is you cannot spell summon monsters during the turn this card is spell summoned except Tellarknight monsters that go for before and after. You cannot spell summon PERFORMAGE monsters and Trick Clown. So if you already have one, or if you have one in hand, or if you have a Trick Clown that's on a material or on the field, you're gonna want to use make Deltros as many times as possible, so that way you can abuse them. You don't want to get rid of Trick Clown until you absolutely have to get rid of Trick Clown. And Trick Clown works just great with any monster that says detach 1, because it just, you don't have to detach. Like with Castello, if you summon him out and you detach both, you don't get his effect if you've already used it that turn. But if you've already used it that turn, you can detach one of the other materials from Deltros. So that is a thing. Trapeze Magician, of course, just so that way we can go for a whole bunch of damage all at once. Ragnar Zero, just for great draw power card. Trevor, as I said, you cannot splash some PERFORMAGE monsters, so if you have one attached as XYZ material, it is gone. There's nothing you can do to do it. If you're gonna make him, the monster's gone. But he is great. I don't recommend making him right away. I do recommend making Deltros better, or first. But if you have a whole bunch of face-up Call of the Hunted, it would be best to just make him right away, just so that way you can add them all back. If you have a Trick Clown on the field and you didn't spell summon it that turn, then it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world to do. And so that is definitely a thing. And then just a whole bunch of good XC monsters 101, Excalibur, Castell, Exciton Knight, Diaguster Emerald, and Battalions. And then, like I said, Tsukiyomi, Budinti one. Requires 2 level 4 light monsters, so you can make them with Trick Clown. If you have Deneb and Foolish and nothing better in hand, it is great. He's amazing because, honestly, unless you have a whole bunch of monsters in hand, it doesn't matter if you get rid of your entire hand. 3 or 4 cards isn't the worst thing in the world, because you want to draw into your spell and trap cards, specifically your Call of the Haunted and your alphas. And these monsters don't care much except for Hat-Tricker, which you should be able to spell summon out if you were able to make this guy. So I mean, if you have like everything, you can either set or summon out. And anything you can summon out, like if you've already normal summoned, it doesn't matter if they're in the grave. Like Vega, yeah. But then again, you can call a Haunted and then summon from hand, if you end up drawing into your stuff. So don't be afraid to get rid of multiple cards. You might get an effect, or you might get off a search. You should be alright, because you want to get these Call of the Haunted. You really want to get these trap cards, so that way your opponent can't play, or you can make even more aggressive plays. And again, you can just Call of the Haunted all these monsters back. So he does not do much. Well, he does great, but he doesn't have much of a downside. The only real downside, though, is that I've noticed is that if you have Chicken Game on the field, you will be forced to play a second Chicken Game if you have 2 in hand, unless you want to get rid of one and just discard it, which I think would be a waste. So it could force that. I mean, you get to draw 2 cards, but you pay 2,000 life points. And your opponent goes plus, because then they didn't have to pay 1,000 life points to destroy the first Chicken Game, only to have to deal with the second one. So that can be a downside, is forcing you to activate Chicken Game too quickly. But with all the advantage it gives you and the amount of draw power it can get you, which is 4 cards if you use it twice, it has it's not bad. And of course, we have Diagustru Emerald, like I said, who allows us to return our dead trick clones, and you really want to use Performage monsters because again, they all are good to call the 100. So yeah, that will be it for this deck profile. This deck is really good. I mean, they did Stellar Knights. I have no clue what the build was like that won Worlds, but Stellar Knights did win Worlds, so they have that going for them, being of the same archetype. So yeah, tell me guys what you think of Worlds, tell me guys what you think of anything, and yeah, there will be a duel with this deck tomorrow, and yeah, this deck really fun. Performance monsters, wow, they were just doing very well being able to put in anything because it's an easy rank 4 engine, especially a hat tricker, just being able to summon them out if your opponent controls a monster and you control one monster, boom, summon them out. Easy rank 4's damage juggler can save you, and then search is just great, or if he hits the graveyard it doesn't matter. So very, very fun deck. The only thing is though that I do want to mention is we do not run any number 86, as you can see, because I didn't think we'd be making them all that often. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. See you guys later. Bye.